Today's lesson is Plus Talk, giving and receiving invitations. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
I am Roger, and again, today we're going to continue talking about giving and receiving invitations. If you would like to invite someone to go see a movie, you might give them an invitation orally, or if you're inviting someone over to a birthday party or a bar mitzvah or whatever, then you might send out a written invitation. So that's giving invitations, and then if you receive the invitation, there are certain things you need to say in order to be polite.
There you go. Now, last time, there were two acts, okay? We had Ella and Jared. Now, Ella and Jared are friends, but they're not girlfriend and boyfriend. But yes, during Act 1, Jared asked Ella out. Hey, you want to go see a movie with me? But he wasn't asking her out on a date. Now, I bring this up because on today's lesson, someone will be asking someone out on a date. So be ready for that. If you've been wanting to ask someone out that you've had a crush on, today we'll be talking about how you can do that and do it well. Anyways, that's enough for part 1. Let's go ahead and move on to part 2 of this month's Plus Talk dialogue. When we come back, we've got Michael, we've got Kathy. We're going to see what happens when someone asks someone else out.
3. Asking someone out. Michael has had a crush on Kathy for a long time. He finally gets up the courage to ask her on a date.
Hey, Kathy, could I talk to you for a second?
Sure, Michael. What's up?
I was wondering if you'd be interested in having dinner with me sometime.
Do you mean in a group with other friends?
No, I meant just the two of us. I'd really like to get to know you better and see where it might lead.
I'm really flattered, but I'm afraid I'm not interested in you that way. I think of you as a friend. I'm sorry.
各位好，第一部分我们看到单字 crush 这个字是名词，意思是短暂的迷恋、爱慕，像是 have a crush on somebody 就表示迷恋上某人。例如Nancy said she had a crush on her class leader when she was in high school. Nancy 说她高中时迷恋过她班上的班长。另外，这个字除了当名词，也可以当动词，指压垮、压坏。举例来说 You crushed my party hat when you sat on it. 你坐下时压垮了我的派对帽。再来，我们看到片语 get up the courage 表示鼓起勇气。例如After having a crush on Diana for years, Alan finally got up the courage to ask her on a date. 暗恋 Diana 多年后 Alan 终于鼓起勇气约她出去约会。另外，补充一个相关片语 to pluck up the courage to do something 表示鼓起勇气做某事。我们可以说 It took Henry several hours to pluck up the courage to give his boss a call. Henry 花了数小时才鼓起勇气打电话给他老板。
Oh, poor Michael. He has been rejected. But hey, guys, you got to get used to it. Most times when you pluck up that courage and ask that girl out, she is going to say no. That's just how things work in modern society. But, you know, what the heck? You got to roll with the punches and try someone else sometime. There are still lots of fish in the sea. But in any case, this is Act 3 here, asking someone out. So indeed, if you are a boy and you're sweet on some girl, you got a crush on her, you're smitten with her, and you think, gee, I'd like to go out with her and maybe be her boyfriend someday, this conversation kind of tells us what to say.
There you go. If you have a crush on someone, by the way, you're kind of in love with them from a distance, or I should say you are in love with them and they don't know that and you haven't said anything to them yet. You're just sitting in the distance there waiting for your moment to pluck up the courage to ask them out or for whatever comes next. Anyways, Michael has had a crush on Kathy for a long time. He has been in love with her for a long time, and I guess he's finally gotten up the courage to do something about it. And yes, he finally gets up the courage to ask her on a date. date. Now, let's go ahead and talk about what it means to get up the courage to do something, okay? Sometimes you're afraid to do something, okay? If you get up the courage to do something, that means you finally build yourself up with enough bravery and courage and boldness that you actually do that thing you are scared to do. That's what it means to get up the courage to do something.
Yep, to get up the courage, to pluck up the courage, to be brave enough to ask that girl out on a date. So Michael begins the conversation. This conversation could be taking place in the office or at school. We're not quite sure here, but he tries to get her attention. Hey, Kathy, could I talk to you for a second? Of course, first of all, he asks her permission to talk to her.
And I imagine Kathy's wondering, okay, what about? And she says, sure, Michael, I'll talk to you for a second. What's up? Tell me, what's going on? And Michael says, well, I was wondering if you'd be interested in having dinner with me sometime. And this is when Kathy is going to need a little bit of clarification. What is going on? You want to have dinner with me sometime. Now, is this going to dinner as like friends dinner or like going to dinner as like a couple or on a date? Is it that type of dinner? And next, Kathy does request some clarification. Yeah, what do you mean exactly, going out to dinner? Do you mean in a group with other friends? By the way, if you do go out to dinner in a big group with a bunch of friends, chances are that is not a date. So that's why Kathy asks this specific question. Is it just going to be me and you, i.e. a date, or are we all going to go as a group, a big group of friends? Because that would probably be okay, but a date, that's a delicate situation.
It is indeed, and most of the time people go out in big groups, especially if you're young, to have dinner together, and hopefully later on, if you're sweet on somebody in that group and you want to go out again later, you'll be able to perhaps get a phone number or something like that. But in this case, Michael is very specific here. He says, no, it's not in a group. I meant just the two of us, just you and me, going to have dinner together. And then he goes on to say, I'd really like to get to know you better and see where it might lead. So he's being pretty direct here. He's basically telling her that, yes, this is an invitation for dinner between just you and me, and I would like to talk to you and have a nice conversation with you to get to know you a little better and see perhaps if we have any potential relationship possibilities in the future.
There you go. Michael has laid it all out there. And by the way, this takes courage, okay? I'd really like to get to know you better. I've had a crush on you for a while, and I want to see where it might lead. Maybe this might lead to love and us being girlfriend and boyfriend and a couple and stuff like that. This is a tough thing to do. Well done, Michael. To have the courage to do that, well, that takes some guts to do what you just did there. And sadly, Kathy, though, can't say yes to Michael, okay? She's going to have to turn him down because she doesn't feel the same way. Michael has had a crush on Kathy. Kathy, apparently, well, she's not really in love with the guy. She's never even thought of the guy in that way. She's never thought, I'd like to be in a relationship with that guy. Anyways, yeah, next she tells us all about that. She says, I'm really flattered there, Michael, but I'm afraid I'm not interested in you that way. So, yeah, maybe as friends we could go out to dinner with a large group of people, but me and you alone, possibly boyfriend and girlfriend. No, I've never thought about you in that way, so I don't know if I can go out on a date with you. But she does say, oh, I'm flattered. She's not totally rude. She doesn't say, no, Michael, I'm not going to do that. She says, no, I'm flattered, okay? It makes me feel good that someone might feel that way about me, but sadly, I just don't feel that way about you.
Yeah, maybe you're all nice and friendly and kind of cute and whatever, but I just don't have those feelings for you. I'm not interested in you that way. I think of you as a friend only. And she's very polite here in turning him down. She says, I'm sorry, and I'm sure he'll get over it eventually. He'll be kind of embarrassed for a while and kind of sad, but eventually he'll get over it and he'll realize that there are still plenty of fish in the sea. Okay, so we wish Michael better luck in the future, but now we're going to move on to the next part of our lesson and talk about inviting a client.
4. Inviting a client. Jared calls up a client to invite her to his company's year-end banquet.
Hello? I'd like to speak to Ms. Whitaker, please.
This is Josie Whitaker speaking.
Hi, this is Jared Campos from Mercer Associates. I'm calling to invite you to our end-of-year gathering. You're one of our most valued customers, and we'd like to show how much we appreciate your loyalty. We'd be honored if you could make it.
What are the details?
It takes place on January 17th at 7 p.m. in the Grand Key Hotel's ballroom.
I'd be delighted to attend. Thank you, Mr. Campos.
第二部分我们看到单字 year end， 这个字是形容词，表示年末的、年终的。举例来说 The whole class expresses their gratitude to the teacher at the year-end party. 全班在年末派对上向老师表达感谢。接着我们看到单字 associate， 这个字是名词，意思是生意伙伴、同事。例如 Before I can make the decision, I will have to speak to a few of my associates at work. 在我做决定之前，我要先跟我的几个生意伙伴讨论一下。另外 associate 除了当名词，也可以是动词，后面常加 with， 指使联想，使连结。我们可以说 I associate the smell of tomato sauce and garlic with Italian restaurants. 我闻到番茄酱和大蒜的味道，就联想到意大利餐厅。再补充它一个相关名词 association， A-S-S-O-C-I-A-T-I-O-N association，意思是关联、联想。举例来说 The association between yoga and mood is being studied by psychologists. 心理学家正在研究瑜伽与心情之间的关联。再来，我们看到名词 gathering， 表示聚集、团聚、集会。举例来说 A gathering was held for all of the students who passed the test. 这场聚会是为了通过考试的学生所举办的。接着我们看到单字 ballroom， 这个字是名词，表示宴会厅、舞厅。例如 The people dancing in the ballroom were dressed in very beautiful clothing. 在宴会厅跳舞的人都穿着美丽的服饰。最后我们看到形容词 delighted， 指荣幸的、乐意的、愉快的。举例来说 I was delighted that you could join us for coffee today. 我很高兴你今天可以加入我们的咖啡聚会。另外 delighted 去掉字尾 ed 就可以成为名词 delight， 表示喜悦、愉快。例如 It is a delight to listen to your daughter play the piano, and we would love to hear another song. 听到你女儿弹钢琴真让人愉快，我们还想听听另一首。
Now let's move on to Act 4, inviting a client. Now Jared calls up a client to invite her to his company's year-end banquet. And yes, it's going to kind of be a mixture between like business and friendly. You're going to be friendly, but you're not friends. This is still a business relationship, okay? So this is still a client, but you have to know how to talk to a client.
Yeah, so Jared works for this particular company, and they have been doing business with Josie Whitaker for a long time. They have a good business relationship, so Jared calls her up to invite her to their company's year-end banquet. So banquet is a special party that a lot of people attend. Sometimes people make speeches during the banquet, but of course there's going to be lots of good food to eat, and it's usually held at a nice restaurant or a restaurant in a nice hotel.
There you go. This is a year-end banquet. It's a banquet held at the end of the year. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now, one other thing. It says that Jared calls up a client. Now, how would calling a client and calling up a client differ?
It's basically the same thing, but call up, I think, is a little more informal. Call me up if you ever have any problems, and I'll be able to take care of them for you. Call up basically means the same thing. So he calls a client or calls up a client. The up there just kind of emphasizes the fact that he's making this phone call to her.
There you go. He places a phone call to this person, and Jared, he dials Josie Whitaker's number. Hello, he says. I'd like to speak to Ms. Whitaker, please. And Josie says, this is Josie Whitaker speaking. So there you go. It sounds like Jared and Josie are officially connected. They've been connected. They're talking.
Indeed, they are. They are communicating. So Jared introduces himself. Hi, this is Jared Campos from Mercer Associates. So they have done business before, but maybe they don't know each other that well. So he still needs to be formal here and tell her who he is. So he introduces himself. This here, the person talking to you, is Jared Campos from Mercer Associates. That's the name of their company. So these are partners in this company, so we would call them associates. In other words, 2, 3, maybe 4 people set up this company together.
Anyways, next Jared says, I'm calling to invite you to our end-of-year gathering. Here we have the word gathering. In this situation, a gathering is not unlike a party.
But it's an informal get-together. It's not as formal as a meeting. For example, last year when I went to the USA, I went out to Philadelphia to visit my aunt and uncle. And we had a little family gathering there. I got to see my cousins and some of my other siblings were out there too. So maybe there were about, 8 or 10 of us or so. And we had a family gathering. It was a lot of fun. So in this particular case, it is an informal party at the end of the year. So it's a gathering here. And he goes on to say, you're one of our most valued customers, and we'd like to show how much we appreciate your loyalty. So this is very nice. This is a very nice gesture. They are inviting her to this year-end gathering, this year-end banquet, because she has been a loyal customer. She could have changed companies earlier, but she stuck with them and she continues to give them her business. So they would like to express their appreciation. They would like to show their thanks. So they're inviting her to this year-end gathering.
And how about this formality? Jared invites her by saying, we'd be honored if you could make it. Wow, how formal is that? And Josie says, well, okay, I'm listening. What are the details? And Jared says it takes place on January 17th at 7 p.m. in the Grand Key Hotel's ballroom. So this gathering, it's going to be pretty big. It is going to be a banquet, so you need a space that can accommodate all those people and all that food and all the tables and all the things you need for your banquet. So, hey, how about a ballroom at a hotel? That should be big enough to accommodate any gathering.
Right, a ballroom. Remember here, ball is not referring to a basketball or a baseball. They're not going there to play sports. Ball here is from Latin, and it means dance. A big hall where they can actually dance. So it's a big room with a high ceiling and a stage. And they're going to have food, they're going to have fun. So, of course, that's where their year-end banquet is going to be held. It's where it's going to take place. And Josie says, I'd be delighted to attend. Thank you, Mr. Campos. So if you're delighted, you're happy, and this is one way you can accept an invitation. Oh, I'd love to come. I'd be delighted to attend. There's nothing that I would enjoy more.
Anyways, folks, with that, this month's Plus Talk dialogue lesson is officially complete, and it's time for you guys to hear from the Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。今天课文第一部分的对话是关于约会邀请，约人家出去。那对话一开始写到说， Michael has had a crush on Kathy for a long time. Michael 喜欢 Kathy 已经有一段时间了。好，句子里面用到 have a crush on somebody 就表示迷恋上某人，喜欢某人。同学们还知道有哪些跟喜爱迷恋有关的用语呢？蛮常见的就是 fall in love with somebody， 这就是指说爱上某人嘛。你还可以用 be crazy about somebody， 为某人疯狂，那就表示非常喜欢某人，对某人非常着迷。好，如果你把这个受词改成事物 be crazy about something， 也可以用来表达非常热爱某事物。好，其实这些用语从字面上都蛮容易理解的。那我们来学习其他的用法。第一个叫做 only have eyes for somebody， 字面上的意思是
眼里只有某个人，也就是说你只被某人吸引，只对某人有兴趣。当我们说 I only have eyes for you 就表示我眼中只有你。好，第二个用语是 sweep somebody off somebody's feet。 这不是说用什么扫堂腿把人家绊倒之类的， sweep 它有扫地的扫的意思嘛，可是它还可以表达席卷风靡的意思。 sweep somebody off somebody's feet 这个片语是用来表达把某人迷得神魂颠倒，使某人一见倾心，彻底的爱上。举例来说Haley was swept off her feet by his charm. Haley 被他的魅力迷得神魂颠倒。好，第三个用语叫做 head over heels， 它是指摔个四脚朝天。这跟爱有什么关系呢？我们常常用它来引申表达说着迷到失去理智，被迷得神魂颠倒了。所以我们可以用 fall head over heels in love with somebody， 或者是 be head over heels in love with somebody 来表达爱某人爱到神魂颠倒，彻底爱上了。好，例如I'm head over heels in love with you， 就是说我深深爱上你了。第四种叫做 fall for somebody， 它表示迷恋倾心于某人。好， fall for 它是源自于鱼看到鱼饵会不自觉的去咬那个动作，然后引申用来表达迷恋或者是被骗哦。好，首先 fall for 的受词是人的时候， fall for somebody 就表示爱上某人，像是 Richard fell for her at first sight， Richard 对他一见钟情，第一眼就爱上了。好，那要特别注意，当受词是事物的时候， fall for something 它是用来表达被某事物所欺骗，所以同学们要特别注意它的用法。那么第五个用语要介绍的是 give one's heart to somebody， 或是 lose one's heart to somebody， 把心都给别人了，那就表示倾心于某人，爱上某人。像是 she gave her heart to a young musician， 她爱上了一个年轻的乐手。那要特别注意，如果你只说 lose heart， 它则是指灰心，失去信心，两个用法不同哦。好，以上是今天重点整理，我们回顾今天单字吧。
Crush. Brad has had a crush on Kara ever since he first met her. Flattered. Talia was very flattered to be asked to give a speech at the graduation ceremony. Banquet. The school held a banquet on Teachers' Day to thank the teachers and other staff members for all their hard work. Gathering. Rex couldn't join us because he had to go to a family gathering. Delighted. I'd be delighted to take care of your dog for you while you're away.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.